Let's review these three notations. The first one is dy du. That means taking the derivative of y with respect to u. With respect to u means you are treating u as an independent variable. I have y equals to u raised to the 5 over 2. So dy du. Another way to write this is taking the derivative of y with respect to u. And then y is equals to u raised to the 5 over 2. So d du, this is u raised to 5 over 2. And then using simple power rule, you bring the 5 over 2 down. And then 5 over 2 minus 1 is 3 over 2. So that is dy du. And then the next one is du dx. So du dx. So the derivative of u with respect to x. So another way to write this is d and then u, the derivative of u with respect to x, and then u is equals to 6x squared plus 3. So u is 6x squared plus 3. And then using simple power rule, you bring the 2 down, you have a 12x. The derivative of 3 is equals to 0. So du dx is equals to 12x. And then what about the red one? The red one is dy dx. That means the derivative of y with respect to x. So you are treating x as an independent variable. So dy dx. So dy dx. Another way to do this is you are taking the derivative of y with respect to x, right? But if you look at y is in terms of u. So y is equals to u and then something. How do you do that with respect to x? So the first way to do it is, do you see that u is also equals to some x? So u is in x. So that means you can just plug in the entire u. So you are going to plug in this piece to the y equal. So plug in the 6x squared plus 3 to the u. So you have a 6x squared plus 3 raised to 5 over 2 power. So y is equals to, you have u raised to the 5 over 2, right? And then u is equals to some x. So you put that inside the parenthesis. So now you can take the derivative of y with respect to x. So dx of this 6x squared plus 3 and then raised to 5 over 2. So this is clearly a chain rule. So you bring the 5 over 2 down, and then 6x squared plus 3, 5 over 2 minus 1 is 3 over 2. And then what is the next step? The next step is you are taking the derivative of the square, right? So that means you are taking the derivative of this. So the derivative of 6x squared is 12. X, the derivative of 3 is equals to 0. So you have 5 over 2 times 12x. So that, what is that equal to? The 2 and the 12, that becomes a 6, right? 6 times 5 is 30. So you have 30x times 6x squared plus 3 and then raised to 3 over 2. And then this is your final answer, right? What is the second way to do it? The second way to do it is you write it like this. So you can see that you can just plug in x to u, right? And then you have a y is in terms of x. So you can just write it in one line. So dy dx, that is equals to dy du, and then multiply du dx. So what is dy du? Dy du is right over here, right? So that is dy du. And then this one is du dx. So why don't you just do the plug-in? So plug this into here and here. So what do you get? You have a dy dx equals to dy du is in purple. So that is 5 over 2 u raised to 3 over 2. And then du dx, that is equals to 12x. And then is this done? Are we done? Can we have two different variables? The answer is no. So you still have a u, right? So you still have a u over here. So what is u equals to? U is equals to 6x squared plus 3. So all you have to do is plug in. So dy dx, that is equals to 5 over 2. And then u is 6x squared plus 3. And then raise that to 3 over 2 and then 12x. Can you see that this line is the same thing as this line? So they are the same, right? And then after you simplify, you also get 30 x times 6x squared plus 3, and then raise that to 3 over 2. Alright, so that is the end of this video. If you think my instruction is helpful, give me a like, share the video for me, click the subscribe button if you are new to the channel. Appreciate for your help and subscribe. See you all in the next video.